Joining us now is Fema Administrator Deanne Criswell. Ms. Criswell, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Michael. Thanks for having me.
This is one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to hit the U.S. What is the extent of the devastation and possible loss of life?
This is certainly, Michael, one of the most catastrophic hurricanes to make landfall. I've talked to my regional administrator last night and this morning, who's on the ground in Baton Rouge, embedded with the State Emergency Management Office. Some of the initial reports that we're hearing are some building collapses across the area, significant structural damage to many buildings. We're seeing some barges and some vessels that may have been broken loose. And we're also, experiencing over 1 million power outages right at the moment. We have some people that I've heard need some rescue, and so there are teams. The state has search and rescue teams either in place right now rescuing or ready to go out at first light. This is significant. There's major damage. We've got a lot of resources in place to support the state, and they'll be going out as soon as it's safe to do so.
With everything that's going on and everything that you said there, what is your biggest concern at this hour, and what is your biggest priority?
My biggest concern is still the fragility of our healthcare system, right? It has been stressed from COVID-19, and the occupancy has been full. We have put plans in place to support that. They're all have generator backup. Some of them are already on generator backup. We have resources to go in and augment that if we need to. But we're also prepared to move patients out of state.
What kind of resources do you have out there to deal with this disaster? And are there any areas where you're being pushed to the limit?
We're still trying to assess the damage. As soon as daybreak hits, we're going to be able to go out and see what those damages are. One of our concerns was always whether the levees would hold. I'm told right now that the levee around New Orleans did, but we knew that there were going to be some in the southern parts of Louisiana that would overtop. And those are areas that did have a mandatory evacuation order in place. But we've brought in search and rescue assets, power restoration teams, food and water to support the shelter operations.
And this storm is being mentioned in the same breath as Katrina, which, of course, we know was catastrophic for New Orleans. City officials there insist that they are in a very different place than they were 16 years ago. Is the disaster response holding up?
Absolutely. The federal, state, and local emergency management structure is in a very different place than it was 16 years ago. And we've never had a better relationship with our state and local partners in Louisiana.
And we are in the middle of a COVID surge, which has complicated a lot of things. And the states that are being hit the hardest are near the bottom for vaccination rates. So how is the pandemic complicating your efforts, and what precautions are you taking?
It is certainly adding a level of complexity that's making our response even that much more challenging. One of our biggest concerns is making sure that we're not spreading COVID-19 unnecessarily. And so some of the things that we're able to do is we have some pandemic shelter kits that can help support social distancing in the shelters, but we're also prepared to immediately move people into hotels so we can keep them separated and try to avoid any additional spread of this virus.
Well, Deanne Criswell, thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of what we know is a very, very busy time for you right now to update everybody here on GMA. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.